Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Marcus and Jamie here.
Hello, hello.
And we are live on my business channel, my business fan page here on Facebook. And we're going to talk about what's holding your business back.
And is this holding your business back?
What specifically is holding your business back? So, of course, it's no secret that you will never outperform your own expectations personally. So, for example, the whole Roger Bannister breaking the 4 mile. For so long, humans were told you could not break the 4 mile, right, Jamie?
Right.
You can't run. A human can't. In fact, doctors would even tell runners that
it's impossible to run a 4-minute mile.
That your heart would explode inside your body if a human did that, right? So never, ever, ever until Bannister did the 4 minute mile happen, sub 4 minute mile. Bannister breaks it, and then what happens?
Somebody breaks it right after.
And then somebody does it again.
Somebody does it again.
And again, and again, and again. And so all that stuff that the doctors were saying, all that stuff was totally false.
Holding people back.
It's holding people back. Because people honestly thought that it's impossible for a human to do that. And if a human did do that, your heart would explode inside your body, right?
So what you tell yourself is what you get in return.
So you never outperform your own expectations. Whether you think you're running a business and I can't take vacation because I don't have a good staff here. And the list goes on.
If you can't, right? What is the saying? If you think you can't.
If you think you can, you can't.
Right. No, if you think you can't, then you can't.
Then you can't, right. So Henry Ford said, if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're probably right. You're probably right. You're right, right?
What you tell yourself is what you're going to get out of your life.
Yeah. And that rule
change your thoughts, change your ideas,
change your results.
Change your results.
Change your thoughts, change your results. So it's no secret about that. Now, people do that in their personal life. But your business is the same exact thing. And a lot of restaurant owners, a lot of business owners don't understand that thought process carries into your business. And it's contagious with your staff as well. So we want to share a story. We're coming on our way back from Buffalo, New York right now. We want to share a story about some bars and restaurants we went into because we love going into places and getting ideas. We got some great ideas this weekend.
We sure did.
Buffalo is really cool. If you've never been to Buffalo, New York in a while, I would highly suggest you go there if you're in the food and wine. There's some great wine shops, wine bars, restaurants, really great stuff.
There's some cool things there.
So, of course, we like margaritas, right?
Yes.
We love margaritas, but we don't love all margaritas because a lot of places use a mix and this and that. And when we can find a place that does a real authentic margarita and keep it simple, we go there and we try them. And I like mezcals more than you do. You're not a big mezcal fan?
I don't mind mezcal, but I prefer tequila.
So, mezcal, folks, if you don't know, mezcal is a version it's an agave spirit that's distilled from agave like tequila, but it's not in this. It's like a rye versus a bourbon. So two different species of agave going into it, slightly different methods, cook methods, things like that. The bottom line is they're both agave spirits. One is smoky, one isn't smoky. Mezcal is a smoky one.
So there's a few different agave spirits, right?
There's five different agave spirits in Mexico. Okay. Racelia, a bunch of Bacanora, right? So I like to look at mezcal and tequila the same that I like to look at cognac and Armagnac. Cognac is the dominant version of that grape-based spirit. Armagnac takes a side seat, and a lot less is imported. Many people don't know about Armagnac, but Armagnac has its own cult following. Mezcals do too have their own following, right? So we go to this one place that proclaims themselves as what? Like the best margarita joint?
Best margarita, yes. And so we see a sign outside on the door, and I say, oh, look, we said, oh, let's go get a margarita. So we saw the sign on the door, and we said, oh, look, they make the best margarita. Why don't we stop in? And my reaction was, well, it doesn't really look like a really nice place, right? Like it needs some updating. And I kind of peek in, and they're empty, and nobody's standing there to greet you. There's one lady behind the bar, and there's nobody in this restaurant.
And I'm sure they get busy.
I'm sure they do too.
It was in the afternoon. We were just walking down the street from our hotel, trying to figure out, where we were going later and stuff like that, and just walk around.
So we walk in. We said, hey, let's see what they have to say. So we walked in, we sat down at the bar, and we started asking some questions. Now, you know, the girl behind the bar, the bartender, has no idea that we know anything about tequila, right?
Right.
Or agave spirits. She has no idea. She is assuming we're walking off the street. We just want a margarita.
Right.
So we look behind the bar, and they have a lot of margaritas. I mean, a lot of tequilas behind the bar. So you start asking a lot of questions.
I say, oh yeah, do you have any mezcals?
And she said, oh, mezcals, we don't sell any mezcals. We really can't sell mezcals here.
This isn't a good market.
This isn't a good market
for mezcals. She goes, we had some, they never sold. Our owner brought them back from Mexico himself, which is highly unlikely. Maybe he did, but if he knows that you can just buy like a ton of mezcals from distributors and deliver to your door, you wouldn't have to go to Mexico for it. Maybe it was a special bottle he brought back. I don't know. But that's her story is mezcals here don't sell. There's not a market for mezcals. And their owner is Mexican and goes to Mexico all the time, she was saying.
But that's her philosophy, right? That's she's been told that we don't sell mezcals. And they lock up the expensive tequilas.
Yeah.
So she goes, oh, well, we have great tequilas, but they're locked up. And it really wasn't making a lot of sense. I mean, we kind of caught on by asking a few questions.
Right.
But
so I'm like, oh, where are they locked up at? What'd she say?
In the office.
In the owner's office.
In the owner's office.
So I said, well, is the owner here?
And she said, no. He's in Mexico.
He's in Mexico.
So we were like, okay, well, you can't sell something if it's locked up. They obviously maybe have a problem with putting out expensive tequila.
I'm not sure,
we don't really know why. Maybe they want it to seem as if
there's an allure around. I don't know.
We're not really sure. But it was kind of a little bit of a do you say turn off? It was kind of like, wow, like they don't have them behind the bar, so they're not really showing them.
So now if we first go to Buffalo for the first time, we're thinking, well, there's not a mezcal market in Buffalo. So then we go right up the road, literally 2 blocks up the road, to a non-Mexican place.
Yes.
And they have mezcal.
They have mezcal.
They have several mezcals.
And we're like, it was a speakeasy, right? Is that?
No, the other place.
Oh, the other place.
The other place. And they have mezcals. It's a non-Mexican place. I'm like, okay, there's a big disconnect here because you have a non-Mexican place that has some decent, nice mezcals. And the Mexican place should be selling mezcals. They said there's not a market here. Mezcals don't sell.
Maybe in their market they don't sell. I don't know.
Right. So now we're talking to this other place. And we're like, hey, we like mezcals, this and that. And are there any other, where would you go to drink? And she said a name of a place that was, I don't know, a quarter of a mile down the road, a half mile down the road. She goes, they have 80 mezcals.
Right.
She goes, that's where you go to drink. They have 80 mezcals. So now, it's all based upon what the boss, the manager, their owner has predicated as to what they can and can't do. Here you have a Mexican restaurant. The owner's in Mexico all the time. You would think that's a great opportunity for this place to sell mezcal, bacanora, sotol, all these other ones, but they're being told by management that it's just not, we can't sell this. They put a limit on their capabilities of selling. Now, the other place, which was a Mexican, is taking advantage of their lack of ambition on mezcal. And the other place is ruling the roost on mezcal.
And we went to a place that the bartender was very familiar with mezcal and agave spirits. So it was really cool to see that aspect of it as well. So it seemed to me that he was educated. You know, the places we went, other than the Mexican place, they were a little bit more educated, right?
Right.
Say they were a little bit more.
And
educated.
the first Mexican place we went to a few weeks back, where the construction's going on, that place, they had an amazing agave spirits, amazing mezcals, like amazing, and that was a Mexican restaurant. So here you have 2 Mexican restaurants, one telling them their staff, and they're telling their clientele, we can't sell these, and the other place is saying, mezcal, it's part of what we do, and it's great, and here you go, and here it is, and we're selling them like crazy. And when you think about it, that all comes from management.
They've set a limit and a cap on what they can and
can't sell, right?
Absolutely.
And you know, the story of build it and they will come has a lot of truth to it. Build it and they will come, but you have to believe in it too. You have to have energy in that product.
Absolute positive energy. Energy.
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
Energy attracts energy.
Energy attracts energy, right? So now we're in these other places tasting mezcals, tasting cool stuff, having a great time, and we're going to go back there. But so the bottom line is, this works personally. You set limits on, you cap your beliefs personally and in business.
Absolutely.
It goes both places. And if you don't have the energy, your staff is going to have the energy for this. And they're going to keep telling, it's a lie. It's basically a lie. And they're going to keep telling this lie.
What you tell yourself is what you become.
A lot of restaurateurs tell themselves they can't raise prices. I can't raise prices, I'll lose business. Well, guess what? You're losing money right now. So do you want to work smarter or harder? What do you want to do? How do you want to work? We're at a point now where restaurants are raising prices every single week. We get food and it goes up, it goes up, it goes up, it goes up, it goes up. Any other business would raise their prices. I reference tile shops all the time. It's easy to know, hey, a tile costs $1. If the tile costs $1.20 and you were selling it for $1 to $2 to begin with and it costs $1, you're going to raise it. Because you're going to understand, why would I lose money as a tile shop owner? Well, how can I keep cutting in on my margins? Restaurants keep cutting in on their margins, and unfortunately some of them cheapen products, cheapen service, and in lieu of raising prices, and those three combinations don't work a lot of times. We told ourselves for years about how a certain type of direct mail marketing wouldn't work in our business. Remember that years ago, 2006, 2007? We went to join this mastermind in 2009, this marketing program, and we talked ourselves out of it for 2 years.
We did, yes.
2 years. This is our restaurant isn't like that, is what we told ourselves. Our restaurant doesn't do goofy postcards and birthday offers.
Right.
We don't do that.
That's not what our guests expect.
That's what our guests expect. We started doing it, and remember Kevin, when Kevin was working for our bartender for us?
Yeah.
The offers started coming in, people started responding, and Kevin goes, and Kevin had worked for us since we opened, and this is like year 4 or 5 now. Kevin goes, this is the best thing I've seen you guys do here. This is our bartender who's in college. This is the best thing I've ever seen you guys do here. And we talked ourselves out of it.
For years.
For years.
Yep.
And it revolutionized our business. And even our line staff is saying, this is amazing.
Yep.
So when restaurant owners say to us, this just isn't my place,